Welcome to Nick Solly channel. Like and hit notification bell for more updates. The 10 best places to live in the world. A frontrunner has been declared for the world's most expensive city and the world's most expensive city for expats. We've also been told which is the world's most beautiful city and which are the world's friendliest cities. Now, the results are in for the Economist Intelligence Unit's Global Livability Report, which ranks the best places to live in the world, scoring 140 cities in 5 categories: stability, healthcare, culture and environment, education, and infrastructure. This year's ranking looks much different than years past, thanks in large part to COVID-19. The report took into consideration how different cities handled the pandemic, strong border closings, ability to handle the health crisis, and the pace at which vaccination campaigns were rolled out. This caused past frontrunners in Canada to fall completely out of the top 10, while regulation sticklers in Australia and New Zealand take up over half of the top 10. And before you even look, be warned that 0 US cities made the cut again. There's always next year. Counting down, here are the 10 best places to live in the world. 10. Brisbane, Australia. Overall rating, 92. For stability, 95. Healthcare, 100. Culture and environment, 85. 9. Education, 100. Infrastructure, 85. 7. The nations of Oceania really cracked down on travel restrictions early on in the pandemic, barring most travelers from the region completely. As a result, citizens were able to resume normal life far sooner than the rest of the world in late 2020. Case in point, Australia, which makes the biggest showing on the list this year, with 4 cities in the top 10. Starting out the ranking is Brisbane, a sunny riverfront city that logs nearly 300 cloud-free days annually. Lovely weather aside, Brisbane scored a perfect 100 in both the education and healthcare sectors, making it an easy pick for one of the best places to live in the world. 9. Melbourne, Australia. Thai. Overall rating, 92. 5. Stability, 95. Healthcare, 83. 3. Culture and environment, 88. 2. Education, 100. Infrastructure, 100. Although it slid in the ranks from number 2 to number 8 this year, Melbourne remains one of the most livable cities in Australia and the entire world. The city nabbed the number 1 spot for 7 years in a row before dropping a place 2 years ago. The city shines with all of Australia's best personality traits: sophisticated, stylish, free-spirited, and continues to attract travelers with its world-class art and fun coffee and cuisine. 8. Geneva, Switzerland. Thai. Overall rating, 92. 5. Stability, 95. Healthcare, 100. Culture and environment, 84. 5. Education, 83. 3. Infrastructure, 96. 4. Despite some social restrictions still in place, Switzerland takes up 2 spots in this year's list, the only 2 European cities to make the cut this year. Despite being one of the most expensive cities in the world, Geneva proves its livability with the perfect healthcare score. It is the home of the Red Cross, after all, and high numbers for stability and infrastructure. There's no denying the city's natural beauty. Either it boasts expansive views of the Alps and Jura Mountains, and, of course, is home to Lake Geneva. With the daily commute that gorgeous, we can see why people are eager to move here. 7. Zurich, Switzerland. Overall rating, 92. 8. Stability, 95. Healthcare, 100. Culture and environment, 85. 9. Education, 83. 3. Infrastructure, 96. 4. Barely edging out Geneva is Zurich, Switzerland's largest city and economic hub. Zurich may seem one-dimensional at first glance, with a reputation for being hyper-efficient and severe. The fact that you'll find spotless streets and trains that always run on time is true, but the city is full of surprises. Come summertime, you'll find citizens swimming in the Limit River, playing volleyball in the parks, and riding their bikes to grab a scoop of gelato. Zurich also is something of a haven for young creatives, which means you can find plenty of art galleries and fantastic restaurants along both banks. 6. Perth, Australia. Overall rating, 93. 3. Stability, 95. Healthcare, 100. Culture and environment, 78. 2. Education, 100. Infrastructure, 100. It's often called the most isolated city on Earth, but don't write off Perth just yet. While the Australian metropolis is still on the up and up when it comes to culture and environment, it clearly makes up for those shortcomings when it comes to healthcare, education, and infrastructure. And if The Economist included a section on beaches, we suspect Perth would have scored perfectly there as well. Just check out Cottesloe Beach for proof. You can also find relatively new food and art scenes here, both of which make the remote city an enjoyable place to call home. 5. Tokyo Thai. Overall rating out of 10 all, 93. 7 stability, 10 all. Healthcare, 10 all. Culture and environment, 84. Low education, 91. 7 infrastructure, 92. 9. Japan took early steps to prevent the mass spread of coronavirus, implementing stay-at-home orders and border closures much earlier than most other countries. That, paired with an excellent healthcare system, explains why the country has two highly ranked cities in this year's list. Tokyo took a cultural hit in 2020, the postponed Summer Olympics being the most obvious example, but the city still managed to rise 3 spots from last year. Tokyo continues to lead by example when it comes to infrastructure, and experts predict the city will get even more incredible in the second half of 2021 and beyond. Infrastructure aside, we'd be happy to live in Tokyo. For the dining alone, the Japanese capital has more Michelin stars than any other place on Earth, and is no surprise one of the world's best food destinations. 4. Wellington, New Zealand Thai. Overall rating out of 10 all, 93. 7 stability, 95. Healthcare, 91. 7 culture and environment, 95. 1 education, 100. Infrastructure, 89. 3. Similar to Australia, New Zealand's strict border closings kept the case count low throughout the pandemic, meaning cultural attractions and restaurants didn't remain shuttered for long. Students were also able to continue going to school, giving cities like Wellington a 100% score in education, even if you don't have kiddos to worry about. The capital city is a fun, quirky place to live, perfect for art lovers and foodies alike. Located on the southern tip of New Zealand's vastly underrated North Island, the city is flanked by hills on one side and a harbor that leads straight to the South Island on the other. And everything you've heard about Kiwis being notoriously friendly, it's all true. 3. Adelaide, Australia. Overall rating out of 10, 94. Stability, 95. Healthcare, 100. Culture and environment, 83. Education, 100. Infrastructure, 96. 4. We love visiting Adelaide for its world-class vineyards and natural wines, but it turns out the southern coastal city is a great place to take up permanent residence. The Economist Intelligence Unit gave it a score of 100, the highest possible score in both education and healthcare, judging availability and quality of both, and the city fared very well in the other categories as well. Where sure, the city's pristine beaches, world-class restaurants, and aforementioned wine scene certainly add to the livability factor. 2. Osaka, Japan. Overall rating out of 10 all, 94. To stability, 10 all. Healthcare, 100. Culture and environment, 83. 1 education, 91. 7 infrastructure, 96. 4. Japan's third largest city after Tokyo and Yokohama is often overshadowed by the nation's capital, but there are plenty of reasons it's become a destination in its own right. For starters, Osaka is one of the best food cities in all of Japan. Must-eat regional specialties include takoyaki, battered, fried octopus balls, and okonomiyaki, grilled savory pancakes with a variety of additions. We also love the city for its baseball culture, neon-lit neighborhoods, and beautiful Osaka Castle. 1. Auckland, New Zealand. Overall rating out of 10 all, 96. Stability, 95. Healthcare, 95. 8 culture and environment, 97. 9 education, 100. Infrastructure, 92. 9. That's right, folks, Auckland is officially the best place to live in 2021. While the city is often mistakenly used as little more than a transit stop en route to Queensland, a slew of new urban renewal projects are making us all consider a permanent relocation. Once neglected sections of the city's waterfront are being transformed into buzzing areas filled with green spaces and notable shopping addresses. Even before all of these changes, Auckland has long held a reputation for being a popular spot for expats. In fact, some 40% of its population was born overseas. Beyond having beautiful places to hike, sail, and surf within easy reach, the city has a diverse culinary scene to match its worldly population. That's all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.